It starts quietly, in the middle of an ordinary morning. A man in his 70s reaches for his cup of tea, a cup he has lifted thousands of times before, but this time his hand doesn't obey. His mind is screaming, "Pick it up," yet his fingers stay frozen in place. His wife watches the cup slip, tilt, and spill across the table, and in that moment her heart drops, yet she does not panic. She remembers one simple movement I taught her just weeks earlier, a movement so small yet powerful enough to save the life of the man she loves. She performs it, recognizes the truth instantly, calls for help, and saves her husband before the clock runs out. Seniors, I want you to hear me with your whole heart. Sometimes the difference between life and tragedy is not luck. It is awareness. It is one moment, one movement, one signal from your own body that whispers before it screams. And if you learn to hear it, you can protect yourself in ways most people never even consider. This is the inner spark. And today I want to give you a kind of strength that does not just live in the body. It lives in your awareness, in your instincts, in your ability to listen to the messages your body has been sending all your life. Strokes are one of the greatest silent threats to seniors. They do not always start with dramatic collapse or a slurred sentence. Many begin in the fingers, with a tiny hesitation, a delayed response between what the mind wants and what the hand performs. Your hand is not just a tool, it is a messenger. It is the fastest, most honest window into your brain's health. And when you learn to watch it, you take control of your future. Before we go into the movement that can save your life, I want you to feel this hook deeply. The first sign of a stroke is rarely pain. It is hesitation. And hesitation in the hand is your brain's first cry for help. That pause between thought and movement, that is the golden moment where you can save yourself. Not later, not tomorrow, but the very second it appears. You see, your hands are not moved by muscles alone. Every lift, every grip, every small motion starts in the motor cortex of your brain. When a stroke begins, whether from a tiny clot, a sudden drop in blood flow, or a blocked artery, the hand is often the very first place the signal becomes disrupted. Before your face droops, before your words slur, before your balance shifts, your hand may slow down. Scientists at the National Institute of Neurological Disorders discovered that micro delays in finger movement can appear up to an hour before a full stroke. Imagine that. 1 hour. 60 minutes where your body is giving you a chance to escape the danger that most people never see coming. The tragedy is that most seniors ignore these symptoms because they feel harmless. A dropped spoon, a zipper suddenly difficult to pull, a hand that feels heavy, disconnected, or slow. Most think I'm just tired, or it's old age. But what if that delay was the brain's early alarm? What if that tiny slip was the first step toward a disaster you still have time to prevent? This is why neurologists across Japan, Europe, and the US now recommend one simple test, something you can do right now from your chair, something you can do in less than 30 seconds. It's called the grip and release test. And seniors, this is your lifeline. Sit upright, lift both hands to shoulder height, keep your palms facing outward. Now slowly close your fingers into a fist, then open them again. Repeat this 10 times. Slow, controlled, focused. You're not testing strength, you're not squeezing hard, you're testing timing, symmetry, response. If one hand lags behind, even by half a second, if one feels stiff, heavy, lazy, or confused, if one doesn't rise as quickly as the other, that is not age, that is not fatigue, that is a red flag. That is your brain asking you to act. Why does this test work so powerfully? Because when you open and close your hand, hundreds of nerve signals travel from your brain, through your spine, through your arm, and into your fingers. If any part of that pathway is starved of oxygen, even for a few seconds, the rhythm breaks. One hand loses the beat. It doesn't follow the pattern your mind is creating. Seniors often describe it as their hand forgetting what it's supposed to do. This is not weakness. It is a neural delay, one of the earliest signs that blood flow to the brain is being interrupted. And in stroke medicine, time is brain. Every minute of untreated stroke destroys brain cells. Every second matters, and your hands can warn you before damage takes hold. Studies from Kyoto University found that in adults over 60, this test detected early motor cortex dysfunction in over 70% of early stroke cases, long before speech or facial symptoms appeared. Think about that. Your hands could show you what your doctor cannot see without machines. A simple movement, something so ordinary, so quiet, could save your independence, your mobility, even your life. But this is where most seniors make a mistake. They wait, they doubt, they ignore. They say, maybe it will pass, maybe I slept wrong, maybe it's nothing. Seniors, hesitation is not nothing. The body whispers before it shouts, and by the time it shouts, the damage has already begun. If you ever perform the grip test and one hand lags behind, do not wait. Call emergency services immediately. You would never ignore smoke coming from your stove. Don't ignore smoke coming from your brain. Now I want you to understand the deeper magic here. This movement isn't just detection, it is protection. When you open and close your hand with intention, you send a surge of sensory feedback into your brain. That feedback strengthens the motor cortex, sharpens neural pathways, and increases blood flow to the areas that keep your hands coordinated. Neuroscientists call this neurovascular coupling, the powerful connection between blood flow and brain activity. Even 2 minutes of rhythmic hand movement can increase oxygen delivery in the motor cortex by up to 15%. And that oxygen is life for neurons. It keeps them responsive, strong, and less likely to deteriorate with age. This is why seniors who knit, paint, garden, play piano, or do hand exercises often maintain sharper thinking and faster reflexes. They are not just moving their hands, they are training their brains. They are strengthening the bridge between thought and action. They are preserving the very wiring that stroke tries to break. So I urge you, perform this movement daily, not once, not sometimes, daily, morning and evening. In the morning, your circulation is slow after sleep. This movement wakes the brain, opens the vessels, primes your coordination for the day. At night, it prevents blood from pooling in the extremities and keeps your neural pathways active. It takes 30 seconds. 10 slow squeezes, pause, 10 more. That's it. But consistency is what makes it powerful. You don't brush your teeth only on the days you feel like it. You do it to maintain what's already working. The same is true here. You don't wait for symptoms to start protecting your brain. You protect it now, so symptoms never appear. Now, let me share the warning signs no senior should ever ignore. If your hand suddenly feels heavy, as if it is not part of your body, if your fingers struggle with simple tasks like picking up a coin or fastening a button, if one hand feels colder than the other without reason, these are signals. Small signals, but powerful ones. And when combined with dizziness, confusion, slurred speech, or a crooked smile, they become undeniable, an emergency that requires immediate action. But the greatest danger is not missing the signs. The greatest danger is doubting them. Doubt delays action. And in stroke treatment, delay is the enemy. Seniors, trust your body. It has protected you your entire life. When something feels wrong, that feeling is not random. Your body rarely lies. The truth is this: your hands are storytellers. They reveal the strength of your brain, the rhythm of your nerves, the flow of your blood. They show you hesitation before your speech slurs. They show you weakness before your legs stumble. They show you the truth before the crisis arrives. And once you understand that, you will never ignore your hands again. So here is your message today from the Inner Spark. You are not powerless. You are not fragile. You are not at the mercy of age. Your health is not beyond your control. You hold knowledge now, knowledge that can protect your independence, your dignity, your future, knowledge that can save a life. You can wake up every morning and test your brain's strength with the simplest movement in the world. You can detect danger before it strikes. You can strengthen your neural pathways with intention. You can trust your awareness as your greatest protection. Because sometimes the difference between tragedy and recovery is not medicine, it is attention. Let this be your empowerment. Let this be your ritual. Let this be your spark.